Welcome to the Alchemy for Authors podcast. I'm your host, Jo Buer. If you're an author, aspiring author, writer, or wordsmith, you're in the right place. Join me as I chat with authors and industry professionals and share my own experiences with using manifestation and mindset practices to supercharge our writing lives. We'll explore ways to overcome writer's block and imposter syndrome. We'll find motivation and inspiration to get our butts in the chair and our stories written. And most importantly, we'll embark on creating lives and livings doing what we love. If you've ever dreamed of a prolific, wealthy, happy or healthy author career or writing practice, then this show is for you. So let's dive into Alchemy for Authors. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Minisode 2 of Alchemy for Authors. Courage comes before confidence. And that right there, courage comes before confidence, is really what I want to talk about today. So this right here has been a theme for me for the last week or so. If you've been listening to this podcast or following me on social media, you would have seen me promoting a couple of epic courses and immersive experiences from people that I really believe have the power to help others elevate themselves financially, mentally, spiritually, in ways that will allow others to live their best lives. Something that I'm super passionate about. You might also know from previous episodes or whatnot that I love learning and education. I have learner as my number 3 in my Clifton strengths. And I invest a lot of time and money in courses. The ones I really truly love, I get excited to be an affiliate for. I mean, I'm going to talk about them to other people anyway, so if it means I can get a little cash back to help finance this podcast or pay for editing or covers for my book, then it kind of is a win-win. And as an indie author, or whatever your profession, I think it's kind of great to honor yourself enough to allow for multiple streams of income. Really, that could be an episode on its own. Anyway, what I have been noticing over the last little while is the fear that people have in stepping forward into the unknown, even when they're feeling called to do just that. It's enrolling in that course that you know could help bring you closer to your goals, that gives you butterflies of excitement, that just feels right. Yet there's also just enough fear to hold you back and keep you on the sidelines. Maybe it's the time commitment or the financial investment is doable, but also slightly outside of your comfort zone. Or there's just that voice that says, what if it's a waste of time? What if it doesn't work for me? Or I lose interest? Or I've just wasted all that time and energy and money? Well, I have been there on multiple occasions, my friend. It comes down simply to what voice and what energy are you going to listen to? The excitement or the fear? Many of us feel it when we're called to write our first book. There's that buzzing within us, that spark igniting, that can be so easily put down by that voice, that inner critic that says, now's not the right time. You need to do or be X, Y, and Z before you can write that book. It's that same voice or feeling that can pop up when we try something new, a different genre, a new style of marketing, transitioning from selling on platforms exclusively or going wide or selling direct. And if we're not careful, we can find ourselves being held back every time we're ready to start something new. Writing that first newsletter or re-engaging with our mailing list, that first time you post on social media or do a book signing or even press publish on launching a new book. But if we keep forfeiting to that fear, if we give in to that inner critic, whom you know secretly has your best intentions at heart, it just wants to keep you safe. But if we keep doing that, then we don't grow. We stay exactly where and as we are. we don't move forward in our lives. We don't reach those goals. Instead, we end up limiting ourselves to lives of mediocrity, out of alignment with what our spirit, our soul, or our higher self, whatever you want to call it, wants us to be and wants us to achieve and to experience and to enjoy. And always, always we hold ourselves back out of fear. What if things don't work out? What if things do work out? It tells us that we're not ready. It tells us to wait until we know more, have more, are more, wait until the confidence is there. I mean, surely, and I'm sure you've had this thought too, that surely if something was really, truly meant for us, if it was really time to take a chance on something, then the universe would just automatically imbue us with all the confidence we need at the time to make it a no-brainer, right? Wrong. So courage comes before confidence. And I know I'm not actually saying anything new to you. You've probably already experienced and know this for yourself. But I also know that sometimes we need that reminder to come from outside of ourselves. So here it is. Courage comes first. You will innately know the next step you need to take in your business or your story or your relationships or your life. You know it. Transformation happens when you step up to the plate, when you do that thing, knees trembling, it doesn't matter, but you do that thing. You take a breath, close your eyes, swallow hard, and take action. Action is key to manifestation. It is key to you creating a life for yourself that you love. And all you need is just a moment, the briefest of moments of courage, just enough to say yes to the opportunity presented to you. Just a moment of courage to write down that one sentence of your novel, to press publish on your first ad or social media post, or uploading of your book onto Shopify. Sure, you're going to need to keep calling on that courage again and again and again, like when it comes to that second sentence of your story, for instance, or the next thing that you need to publish, or showing up for that next learning experience. But the more you learn to face your fears, feel them, but then move through them without letting them take the reins and keep you anchored to the status quo, the more your confidence is going to grow, the more trust you'll have in yourself to do those hard things in the future. And those hard things, inevitably, over time, are just going to get easier and easier. And it's not to say the fear is going to completely leave us, because maybe it'll hang around just to remind us of how far we've come. No longer chained to it, but just cognizant of it. Because also, how much more empowering is it to do something despite being fearful? I know for myself, it makes those moments, those first steps, all the more memorable and all the more fulfilling. So last week, I started a new day job, and it's a role I'm not completely familiar with, working alongside new people, under new leadership. And so there was a lot of fear bubbling under the surface, of course. You know, like, would I screw up or do something wrong? What if people didn't gel with my quirkiness or like me? What if I said or did the wrong thing? And trust me, that's like the beginning of the long list of things in the back of my mind. However, the list wasn't as weighty as it has been in the past. There was definitely that nervousness, but not the anxiety or paralysis that I'd experienced before. And that's because gradually, over time, I'm training myself to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's simply by doing that thing anyway, doing the thing that I know I should or want to or is best for me to do would just elevate my life, and just doing it anyway. By doing that, I'm exercising my confidence muscle, because ultimately it is so much more important to me that I grow than stay exactly where I am. Coincidentally, as I'm thinking about all this over the last week or so, I happened to be on social media and someone else articulated exactly what I was trying to say, where my thoughts were at in a Instagram post of all things. And they said it much more succinctly than I am saying it. But I thought I would share it here with you anyway. And it's from New York Times bestselling author Adam Grant, whom I follow. He is amazing. And he had this to say: "You don't have to build confidence before taking action. You build confidence by taking action. Standing still breeds rumination and seeds self-doubt. Motion fuels progress and elevates efficacy. Never let doubts about your ability undermine your faith in your ability to learn." So there we have it. Great minds think alike. My questions to you are: where in your life are you sitting on the fence? Where are you waiting for the perfect time or the perfect planetary alignment or the confidence to take that step that some part of you deeply knows could be life-changing? And we're not talking massive steps here, unless that's your thing, but just little things, little actions over time achieve big life-changing results. Ask yourself, where can you say, screw waiting for courage? I'm going to trust in my abilities and do it anyway. In both my day job and my author life, I took some big knee-knocking actions last week. So know that you are not alone. We have all been there, and we will continue to be there multiple times for the rest of our lives. As Susan Jeffers says in her book by the same name, feel the fear and do it anyway. So as we wrap up, I just want to say a big shout out to 2 people who found courage and took exciting first steps towards making their dreams come true. They followed their inner knowing and they took action. So a big woohoo to Helen and Jennifer this week, and a big thank you to them too, because in doing so, and them following their intuition and moving through their fear, they actually ended up giving back to the show as well and supporting me. And so I am so very, very thankful to you both. Before I leave off, I also just want to remind you of the upcoming 5-day Millionaire Author Challenge hosted by Carissa Andrews that begins tomorrow as this goes live. There's still time to join. My link is in the show notes. And by using that, you're also helping to support the show, so I really appreciate it. Just remember to use the promo code MAC2024, MAC2024, to save a few $100s and join the challenge for just $27. This challenge is a precursor to Carissa's epic 12-week immersive millionaire author manifestation course, which starts at the end of February. Carissa and Tammy Tyree were both on last week's show to talk about the challenge and the course. So if you haven't already, make sure you go back and check that out. And then if you feel that Carissa's course is the next step for you to elevate your author career and bring in a bit more abundance, again, I would super appreciate you joining through my link. Not only am I a student of the course and I've done the challenge before, but I like them so much that I'm an affiliate. And at no extra cost to you, it's just another form of revenue that helps me to keep this podcast ticking along. But also, because you're an Alchemy for Authors listener, when you sign up to the Millionaire Author Manifestation course, make sure that you use the promo code Alchemy. That will save you 30% off the pay in full price or 30% off the first payment if you choose to go the monthly plan route. I will be back next week with another full episode of Alchemy for Authors. But until then, my friend, I am wishing you that wonderful moment of courage that you need to make great things happen this week. All right, bye for now.